Good afternoon.
If I could start by asking about Issa Diop. I know he's been a target of the club for a long, long time before you were even here. What does he bring to the squad? How happy are you to get it over the line?
Really pleased to have him with us. Was a target from the moment we start planning. This season was a target for us. Issa. Was a long process, of course, but we finally have him with us, and will be a player for sure that will add something different, like the others. As I said to you regarding Shane as well, that he will add something different for our squad, and with Issa will be the same player that can play easily in both sides, right and left side. Even if the last few seasons playing more on the left and on the right, he can play in both sides of our back central defenders, and that is really important for us this situation. And that the experience, as quality, is another one that will be really important for us.
In terms of transfers, is that you done now, or do you still feel you need one or two more?
No, we need. It's clear that we need. Of course, our priority in that last few weeks was to complete our back line, of course. As you know, we had different pre-seasons just with the two senior central defenders, all pre-season, and until the first Premier League match. Shane just arrived in 2 days before the Liverpool match. Was strange the situation. Finally, we got the four central defenders to work, to prepare, to have competition between them, and for us to be stronger, definitely. Now we have to look for different positions in our midfielder line, and for what's happened with our wingers is not a normal situation, with probably two long-term injuries with Harry Wilson and Manor Solomon. Of course, we'll have to do something to have solutions. We are happy, but now with this situation, we have to find something to have solutions, or to play on the bench, because right now we don't have. And another situation for the midfielders, something that we are looking for. As you know, we lost from last season Fabio, the situation of Josh, that we decided won't be with us, and Issa, that was a player that probably will be with us. We sold as well. We sold two players. We have to add another midfielder as well. Let's see, we are working. It's not an easy situation, but we'll do our best to get the squad complete.
Justin Clivert was a name that was mentioned. I know it's a difficult deal to do, but are you confident that deal could still be done?
It's something that I will not speak about individual players or rumors or something like that, because if I will do that, I will be here 1 hour with you guys, because it will be so long. The list is not something that is important for us. Really, is okay. So you have our targets, you have the position that we are looking for, but right now, the focus is in our players, the players that we have. They did a fantastic game last week, and we have to prepare well Wolves. Of course, behind the scenes, we have to work, and we are doing it.
Moving on, in the past when Fulham have come up from the Championship, and I know you weren't here before, but there's been a bit of a sort of panicked approach to signing players. There's been a feeling that Fulham are almost destined to go straight back down again. It feels very different this time. It feels like there's a lot more optimism about the place, even before that brilliant performance against Liverpool at the weekend. Do you think that's fair, that it's a bit more of a measured approach to the Premier League this time?
We have planned with time, and we had time, because we did a very, very good season, of course, and gave us the time that the others they didn't have, of course, and this was the first. As you know, the market is tough one. Our targets, they were clear. Our plan was an ambition plan as well, because that was tough to get some of the players in as quick as I would like to have all of them in the pre-season, to have a normal camping with the full squad, or almost full, not full squad, but a good group of players to work in everything, to prepare ourselves in the best way you want. Of course, in certain positions wasn't possible, but of course the plan was clear from the first day. From last April was clear the plan. Everyone knew it. Of course, the board was doing their best to try to get the players inside. About comparisons, I will not do it, because it will be unfair, and I was not here to do this type of comparisons, and it doesn't make sense for us to do it. What is important is for us to look for the present and for the future, and to be optimistic, because we cannot play football if you are not positive. You cannot be really competitive if you don't trust on yourselves and all the situations. And this is the way you go to challenge. With more problems or not, like now with these two injuries in the key players for us on the out wide, and all that situations can create different scenarios for us. sometimes not the ideal scenario, but we have to. I'm here to find solutions and not to claim about situations, even if I'm doing my job behind the scenes to get the things in the right track. But to answer direct to you, of course, we have to be positive. We have to trust on ourselves to understand what type of competition we are playing again, what type of opponents we are playing against as well, because top quality players, managers, squads as well, and we have to prepare ourselves as better as we can to be as more competitive we can as well.
And again, in the past, there's been a reputation, and perhaps an unfair one, around Alexander Mitrovic, that he's too good for the Championship, not good enough for the Premier League. We saw he gave a world-class back four a really hard time last Saturday. Is this the season when Mitro proves that he is a Premier League striker?
He is a Premier League striker. He is a Premier League striker because that he's competing in Premier League, and because that last I don't know 7 seasons he played 4 times in Premier League. That means he's a Premier League striker. If not, he will not be here with us. That is the main thing. He's a Premier League striker. He's the best scorer of his national team. He's a player with experience to play the most difficult competitions in the world with his national team. For me, I don't have doubts from last season. Not now. I don't need to see Mitro scoring goals at this level to say that is definitely a Premier League striker. Of course, you have to understand his own profile and to take the best from him. It's my job to try to take the best from him and to keep providing for him and deliver for him the chance after he can finish. But Mitro is more than that just for me. He's a football player, he's a striker that can add something different from us with the ball. Without the ball, he's working really hard. I'm really pleased for it to see him how he's working, how he's involved in our defensive process as well. And I expect more from him, to be honest. I expect more from him because he has more to give us, and to keep playing with the smile on his face is what I want to see. To see him happy on the pitch with fantastic plays like he had last Saturday. In some moments, he will not be so perfect. Because he was almost perfect in that Saturday against Liverpool. In some moments will not be so perfect, but I want him able to help the team every time.
Just one final question from me. Looking ahead to the game on Saturday, you're roughly the same age as Bruno Lage and from roughly the same part of the world. Do you know each other at all? Are you friends?
No, we know each other. We know each other, but we are not friends, of course. Every time he's not playing against me, I wish all the best for him. I think he will be the same with him for me. Of course, I'm almost 100% sure it will be the first time that we'll face each other in a match day. When I was in Portugal, Bruno was working more in the academy, in the young teams of Benfica. And I played once against him here in England, but he was assistant in one team in Swansea. He was assistant, and of course we know each other, and very good manager. He's doing a very good job at Wolves, and will be a tough match for us. Again, I wish the best for him. Just when we played twice against Fulham, I wish we'll be at the end of the match happier than him.
Muito obrigado.
Obrigado.
Thanks, Jamie. Alison.
Hi Marco,
Hi.
Alison Bender from Premier League.
Hi.
For any newly promoted side, it's always really difficult, that very first game. And I think last time Fulham were in the Premier League, it took 5 games to record their first points. So how much pressure has that taken off you? How's it lifted the mood around the training ground?
Gave the players even more confidence. But for us, to be honest, this week was the same than the last week. We haven't changed anything, and the approach from ourselves to each training session, the approach from the players, the commitment, the desire, was the same in every single session. The focus as well. We are not more confident than last week. Of course, showed to us that we are in the right track. We are going in the right direction. But of course, each game will be different. Each game in Premier League has his own story. Liverpool is Liverpool, or they are world class. All that situations, all this stuff to play against them, and match them in almost all the details of the match, and we did it. But this one will be a different story. In some moments, we have to take our responsibility on the game and to do our work, but of course gives us the confidence, gives us more trust probably, but it's something that inside here we have always.
adjusted your game plan and your tactics. How much of that do you think is owed to the fact that you're playing quite similarly to how you played in the Championship? You've been able to build on that?
Yeah, I said several times to you all when you're preparing the season, even last season, last matches, when some of you ask me if we will change everything now, and of course, for me as a manager, it's something that doesn't make sense at all. Of course, we have to be realistic, and I'm the first one being that I know the type of competition you are playing, what type of opponents we are playing against as well, but doesn't make sense if I come in one season here and I start to build and create something with my players in this football club, our own philosophy, our own way to play, and to create the platform to keep improving. And after 10 months, we start to change everything. It doesn't make sense. It's not our way. Of course, you have to, in each game, we have to have our strategy. You have to be aware with some details and the quality and the power of our opposition sides, definitely. But to change everything will not make sense. We will not do it. We will not do it. Of course, being realistic, definitely yes. We are not stupid at all here inside. You know what we are playing for. All the other things will be a natural situation. Last game is a good example. Everyone felt that we matched Liverpool in a very good way. You played well, and it was a game that we had 35% probably possession, and it's completely different than last season. Normally, last season was our team that will be 60 or 65 or 70% the possession. This game was different, but our idea was there, the plan was there as well, and will be always like that.
I know we touched on transfers a bit earlier with Sky Sports. Can I ask, I know there's been rumours about Willian coming to Fulham. Is he a player who you're interested in, who you're talking to right now?
Well, I will not talk about rumors and the situation about names and about positions even. Of course, I think it's clear that the 2-3 positions that we keep trying to add some players because we need numbers inside, definitely. More now with this situation of Harry Wilson and the injury of Harry Wilson and Manor Salomon, that will, unfortunately for us, they will be a long-term injuries, and we need solutions for that positions. And the midfielder, I already spoke with your colleague as well, what will happen. Let's see what we can do. Of course, as all the clubs, I think all the managers are saying the same right now, that they keep trying to look to improve the squad, and we are doing the same.
So the game itself and Wolves, they don't score a lot of goals, and they've been struggling. They struggled in the first game as well. How much of an opportunity does this feel for you?
Because it's the next one, and as always, is the most important one for us. We had a good week so far until now. Very good from our players, the commitment, the desire to do the right things. Of course, every time the group is becoming more complete, of course, the competition becomes stronger, and it will help us to be in better conditions in every match. But regarding Wolves and how they can be really tough for us, I don't have doubts about it. Top quality individual players in their attack line. They have so much quality in that situation. This week is a good example. Another player that they have signed, a lot of quality, pace in the attack line as well, and of course with experience, two, three really experienced midfielders that they can not just to manage the game in the best way, but to create the moments for the players in the attack line to create problems to the opposition side. Will be a tough match against that, in my opinion, a really quality team, a very good manager, as I said before, and some individual players that they can make the difference. It's up to us to keep showing our good organization, and when we have to have the ball, we have to be ourselves. Always looking for to try to create problems to them as well, because of course, as our obligation, you go there to match them and try to get points for us.
Just finally from me, probably should have started there, but what's the team news?
As I said before, Nathan is working with the team, Nathan Shaloba. Unfortunately for us, we have the 2 injuries with Harry Wilson and Manor Salomon. They will be out of the match.
Thank you.
Emma.
Hi, Emma. Hi.
It must feel great to get that first point of the season. How important, though, is it for you to be aware that is the first point of many?
Unfortunately, it was just 1 point. I understand your question, but the way the game went and winning or leading the score twice, even if against a top side, one of the best in the world, and definitely one of the best in England as well. The way the game went, and winning at 78 minutes or something like that, and concede the goal in the last 10 minutes of the match was, the taste in the end of the match was a little bit, the feeling was a little bit not so good, but we have to be realistic, and feeling that we did the things right. Probably was a game for us to get the 3 points, but of course against top side they can create problems for us in each moment we switch off, or even if you are there, they can create this problem. Of course, more than that, was a good performance. I think I congratulate our players in that match, the courage that we play. I asked them to do it. They stuck with the plan as well, and we did really well. And of course, was a good game, and gave them the confidence and the trust that we are showing to them from the first day. But it was important for them to feel again back at this level. The atmosphere in our stadium was really good as well. Let's see what will be our answer the next Saturday again.
You've had so much praise for that performance, and it's interesting hearing you talking about being realistic, but also being positive and being optimistic. There seemed to be no fear.
No, why? Why? No, it doesn't make sense. We worked so hard, and we did so many good things, and we was in a fantastic, really good season last season. Fantastic season we did. Doesn't make sense now if you come here to be fear or to play. Being realistic is something that we have to, because if you are not at this level, and they will punish you every single moment. But of course we have to be positive. We have to trust on ourselves, even if you know some they have different budgets, different powers, or whatever. But we are Fulham, and we have to believe in ourselves and to work harder together every single time to match our opposition sides. And it will be our way with some good results. I hope many good results, with some not so good and good performance, not so good performance as well. But it has to be always our way.
What qualities are you looking for in new players? Because I'm assuming it's not a coincidence that the recent players you brought in have already got Premier League experience.
Okay, was one of the main things, of course. We have a very good group of players. I think the platform that came from last season is really important for us. Definitely, some of them, they are in this football club so many years, and they know the club, they know what's happened a few seasons ago as well, how it is being tough for us to get a promotion in the season after, and the platform is really important to what we are building from the last season, and that group of players, and the players that they still with me, they are really important. Of course, we try to add, because looking for the squad, we haven't so many Premier League experience in the squad from the last season, definitely, and was one of the things that we try to get in, is players with some Premier League experience, and some of the others that they come from abroad, players with a different knowledge, different characteristics as well, but some of them with the Champions League experience, and is really important for us. It's something that we're trying to get in to help the others, and more than that, to have more competition inside.
One player who I thought settled in really well, impressed a lot of people, I think, against Liverpool. I'm going to say, is it Palhinha? Is that, yeah? He seems to have settled in incredibly well. How pleased have you been with what you've seen from him?
No, I know João really well. Of course, when I was in Sporting, he was a young player from the academy, and I know him from that moment. Of course, for that position, we were trying to find a player with really specific characteristics in that situation, and of course, we found it in João. Can give us some of the things that we need in that specific in that position. The aggressiveness in the right way, of course, without the ball, with the ball, the reaction. Of course, I can tell you even that the type of game we play against Liverpool, and the type of game that was in last Saturday, fits really well on him, definitely, because it was a game that we as a block, we were really high on the pitch, or we try to be always high on the pitch. It's really difficult against them. We did it more the first half than the second, and you have to be always in the front foot with our when you don't have the ball, always try to block them every time, and it was a game that fits really well on not just João and the Harrison Reed profile as well. Next game we'll ask different things probably for him, not just this part of the game, but the other part of the game that we are working on with him to decide quicker, to think quicker as well, because at this level he has to, but he'll get that. I'm 100% sure, and as the others, he's a player that can add something different for us. As I said, regarding the central defender as well, is what we try to add, of course, for that position. We have Harrison Reed can play there as well. We have Nathan Chalobah can play there as well, but we try to get some different profile.
I don't know how aware you were that Wolves were quite interested in João as well.
I don't know.
That's right. And finally from me, an amazing performance against Liverpool. Players look tired afterwards, unsurprisingly. How do you think they're going to? Can you maintain that momentum? Do you think?
No, they are not surprising at all. What I felt from them after the match in the dressing room, that strange feeling that probably could get the 3 points, and it's good to see. Of course, we have to be proud of our performance. We have to be pleased for that. But it's just a game. We have more 37 to play, and the long way ahead of us is nothing to decide just in a game. Of course, was something that encouraged us to keep going. The feeling in the dressing room was that, okay, we perform well, we have very good things. How the game went, probably we could get to 3 points instead of 1.